Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very early video. It's like 8, 9, somewhere in between. And I'm filming today a Q&A and get ready with me. So we're gonna talk about handbags, we're gonna talk about the wedding, life updates. So surprisingly, I have a lot of questions about the wedding. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I have not been wanting to share. I don't want to overload my content with like the wedding, especially because it's until spring of next year. So I think we have a lot of time and I just don't want to be annoying, I guess. But let's start with primers. So this is the one that I've been using lately. It's from Laneige and I usually put only a few drops and this one is like perfect. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit, but let's go with the first question. How is the wedding dress shopping going? So I haven't started. At the moment that I'm filming this video, I have not gone wedding dress shopping and I know that I should do it now. I have the appointments, so I'm going to go, but I don't really plan on filming it. I think it's already quite a stressful experience for me. I mean, I don't know how it is for everyone else, but it's the only part that had me with a little bit of anxiety of the wedding. I feel like there's so many expectations on the dress and how you should feel with yourself and how you should look that I just been a little bit scared to go and do it. Like from the get-go, it's been the one thing that has me a little bit self-conscious probably, but I have the appointments and I'm gonna go. I'll update you guys on how it goes, but I don't think that I'm gonna vlog the experience. I just want to be very relaxed and not think about having to put the camera on. I also feel like most of the wedding is going to be very private for me. I want to draw the line in what I share on social media. Of course I'm gonna share stuff because it's my life and it's the wedding, but there's other things that I just don't feel like posting online. I don't know, I'll see how it goes. Like as the time starts going, I know my boundaries and I know my limits. So just the wedding dress shopping, we're not gonna vlog that. Now concealer, I changed to this one that is from Bobbi Brown. It's the Skin Full Cover Concealer. I had to change it because now that I'm going to the beach a lot, I'm a little bit more tan. This one is a natural tan. What I can tell you about the dress for sure is that I think it might be long sleeved. Reason why is because it's going to be a little bit chilly. We want the ceremony to be later on the day and I don't want to put anything like on top of it. So I will try on every single style that I can just to make sure that I'm going for what I want. But maybe a dress with sleeves that are like really intricate and beautiful would be nice. Also, I know that I want a square neckline and that it's not going to be mermaid style. Like I want fluffy gown type of thing. But most importantly, I want to be comfortable. So I do not plan on having something that I just won't be able to use it so many hours and being uncomfortable. Because if I'm uncomfortable, I'm not gonna have a good time. I'm gonna mix it with this one that it's like the one that I use during the winter. I kind of feel like it's a tad orange. But yeah, for sure, I'll show you the final results, of course, after the wedding. But I'll show you some pictures of basically what I want. Since the wedding is going to be on a chateau, I want something that kind of matches the theme without being too much. Like you guys know me, I am very simple in that way. So I want something that reflects me too, but that makes me feel pretty. Favorite designer brand? So this could have been a very easy question if it was asked a few years ago. This is the foundation that I've been using lately and it's the Bobbi Brown Intensive Serum Foundation with SPF 40, also in the natural tan. I'm just going to put a little bit, not much. So in the past I would always say Chanel. Like there was no contender, nothing that could like get up there, like not even Hermès. But lately I kind of feel like I enjoy way more going to Dior or to Celine or Delvaux than going to Chanel or the Hermès boutique. I mean, I love my Hermès bags and I love my Chanel bags so much, but I feel like Dior offers so much and so many different things and the patterns and everything. Just like I love going into the store and I love trying things on and they're so approachable. You can buy anything that you want unless like it's really sold out, but they can order it for you. There's no complications, there's no waiting list. It's just easy and enjoyable. They're not mean. The essays are always really nice. So yeah, I enjoy it more. And Celine, I've been loving Celine lately, so I would say right now Dior for sure. Not as strong as I used to like really love Chanel and looking for every new release and every new collection. 23K was super underwhelming. I mean, I like the clothes, some of them, but the bags is just like everything is just the same. It's consistently the same and it's honestly quite sad. So I hope that for cruise and spring summer we get something really nice. I'm waiting to see what's coming for cruise in November. If I find it, I'll make a video. Now for contour, also Bobbi Brown. Everything is gonna be linked in the description box down below, of course. And the shade is Cool Almond. If Masha can have another sibling, what would you get? At first I was said that I wanted a dog before we moved here. Now I know that that would have been a mistake, a really big one, because moving overseas was overwhelming. So I get Paulo's point on that. And to be honest, right now I would definitely do it. My only worry is that we're gonna get a puppy and that puppy is gonna bite furniture and it's gonna pee everywhere and she's gonna bite and destroy, which is very normal. Like I fully expect to train the dog and to have the time and patience for a puppy puppy. Masha right now is such a good dog. Like she ate a full couch when she was like 7 months old. So yeah, she's right now very, very good and obedient and amazing, and I love her. The thing is that I'm also scared that she's gonna be a little bit jealous at first. The apartment is big, so I'm not against getting a puppy while we live in this apartment, but at least I would like to have like a weekend house where we could go and there was like grass, a place where the dogs can run. I'm like in that in between where I'm like, one day I'm about to go and do it like that same day, but then I back out and then I'm like, no, we're gonna do it. And Polo is very in. Like Masha is 5 years old. We want her to have a sibling while she still wants to play, and she's very, very playful. She's my soul dog. I adore her and I want her to have company and another dog in her life, and I don't want her to be like too old to be able to enjoy having a puppy sibling. So I'm also in that side of things and I don't want to even think about it. Also, I want to have kids. I don't have a timeline for kids, but I also don't want to have a very, very young dog while my kids are born, because then it's a lot to handle. Like right now Masha is like, I know I don't have to worry about her. She's so amazing and so well behaved. So we will, no idea when, but we will. Can be today, can be tomorrow, can be in 1 year. And if you ask me, I would 100% get another golden retriever and another girl, because I'm going to be that person with a house with a backyard with 5 goldens for sure. I found this one from Milk in the shade Kirk. I like this a lot. The next question is, how has Masha coped with the heat in Barcelona? And she hasn't. We actually got a portable AC that we call R2D2 because it's like really, really small, but she usually stands like in front of it when she's too hot, and she like understands what the AC is. So when she was like way too hot, she would go to the bedroom and just ask me to turn it on. So we would just like watch movies or work or whatever, but in the bedroom. So I didn't really let her get too hot. I mean, I would go without AC, but she has a lot of hair, and yeah, no, I'm the type of dog mom that if it would have gotten really, really bad and we didn't have AC, I would have gone to a hotel or Airbnb. But yeah, no, she didn't really suffer much with it. So I'm sorry I didn't organize the questions, but this one is also about the wedding. So far I have the wedding planner who is handling most of it, but what I can tell you about the wedding is that it's gonna be very casual. It was actually quite hard to find a wedding planner that understood that we wanted more like a weekend family getaway and we didn't want anything like too formal. So basically what I can tell you on the updates on the wedding is that I decided a little bit about the photographer. We want something very natural and in the moment, like not many stage photos where you're like holding the flowers and standing like this. We want more like in the moment, black and white, vintage type of thing. My flowers, I want to be peonies. Masha's gonna deliver the rings in the altar. The food, we have no idea about the food yet. Paulo's sister Geraldine, she's gonna be my maid of honor, and I will have 2 bridesmaids, but we're not really gonna do bridesmaid stuff because they want to be part of the wedding. Paulo's not gonna have a groomsman or anything like that. They're gonna wear blue because we're gonna have like blue, baby pink, pastel yellow, and of course greens because it's gonna be outside. We want all of the wedding to be outside, and almost no one has +1s. We don't want anyone that we don't know at the wedding. Like, don't wanna be introduced to absolutely anyone, and I want to look around and see only people that I'm comfortable with. So we're right now at 80 people. Let's see how that goes because it's quite in the middle of nowhere and it's a few days. I don't know if everyone's gonna say yes to the invitation, but let's see. What is the newest bag that you have bought? That would be my beloved Birkin 35. I'm gonna put it here just so we can look at it because I'm super in love with it. So far, I have been loving it. I've been using it as much as I can. It was actually one of the best decisions to sell some of my bags and get that one. Are you planning to change the direction of your YouTube channel away from luxury? I'm aware that many people have started to drift away. I consider that I am on my own path. I mean, you can do so many videos about handbags, but at some point you're bound to run out of topics and you need to evolve a little bit. Also, in my opinion, it's not that like I'm drifting away from handbags, but it's more the fact that I feel comfortable enough now to share about other aspects of my life that is not just about handbags. Also, I would like to note that handbags are my hobby and something that I enjoy a lot, but when you make it your job, you need to balance things out a little bit. So it's definitely not that I'm changing my direction away from luxury, but just that I'm putting what I feel like I want to do, film, and put out when I do it, which is one of the reasons why I haven't burned out and that I'm still being able to post on YouTube twice a week. It's a task to have 2 topics every week, filming them and editing them without really burning yourself out. I want to enjoy what I do, so I want to vary a little bit what I put out there. I mean, I understand that there are some topics that I'm gonna post that not many people are gonna be interested in. I don't really check my stats anymore because I really really love and enjoy doing this, and I don't want to attach any like negative or extra pressure into it. So yeah, I'm not drifting away, but if at some point I just don't enjoy it, I will definitely stop. But for now, we're balancing it out. It's some handbag content, vlogs, this, that it's get ready with me, that I'm in no way, shape or form someone that is good at makeup. So I'm doing my best here, just a disclaimer. But yeah, I've definitely seen the shift in the community. I've seen people changing their perspective about luxury, which I understand and I kind of agree. Now highlighter, and it's faded away, but this used to say Kylie Cosmetics. How did you decide to start your YouTube channel? So I get this question asked a lot. The name of my YouTube channel started as a joke. It started as my Instagram handle, and I was living in Paris at the moment. If you don't know, Polo, he went to a French school, so all of his friends now live in France and they speak French fluently, and when we were living in Paris we would hang out with them a lot. I do not speak French. I took 6 years of French, but my French is rusty at its best. There were a few things that I could pronounce correctly, and Je suis Lou was one of them. Just like introducing myself, asking for things, and it became a joke, and everyone would introduce me at, oh, Je suis Lou. So that's why I named my Instagram account like that. I wanted to make a new Instagram account and not post my handbags and my purchases on my main personal account, because I felt a little bit shamed, and I knew that there was a community because I was on the Facebook groups, and I just wanted like something that people would not find, like just something new, something that was not too personal. So it's the first thing that came up to my mind, and it grew, and now it's a little bit too late to change it. So yeah, I decided to start my YouTube channel because I really enjoyed talking about bags, and I consider myself a very creative person, and I love editing videos and I love filming stuff. My goal was always like doing vlogs a little bit because I love editing vlogs. I would always do videos for my friends when it was their birthdays, for family or for trips or whatever. I would do them for myself. So I definitely enjoy doing this, but I never intended it to become something so serious. Okay, now let's do the brows. How do you feel with your decision about moving to Europe versus the US? So I moved about exactly a year ago to Spain, and to be completely honest, moving to the US was never in my cards or part of the decision making. And the thing is that I kind of grew up like in the middle. I would live in Mexico, but I would come to Spain and to Europe a lot. I've always felt very inclined to move here eventually, like forever. As for the US, don't get me wrong, I love going to the US. I love so many aspects of the US, but not to live there. I like just going, sitting down in a cafe and looking at people pass by. Things are also a little bit less formal here. Life is slower, everything is more calm. I know that everyone tells me that Barcelona is a bit dangerous, but I feel very safe. I like the culture, I like the food, I like how close everything is to each other. You can get on a plane and in a few hours you're in France or in Italy or in the car. I love doing road trips. Everything is so close, and I just don't want anyone to bash me because I know that most of you guys live in the US, and I love the US for so many things, but I love it more for traveling and for short amounts of time. Also, living cost. Living cost here is way lower than if I lived in the US. Like my apartment would be 5 times the price. So I don't know, I just think about long run, living here is the best thing that we could have done. I've not said in Barcelona I am open to moving to other cities here, other countries too. Just I think I'm gonna stay in Europe for good. I can walk on the street alone at night. I can take public transportation. I can drive alone, which was something that scared me a little bit in Mexico sometimes. I don't feel uneasy about being alone at home at night. I go places, I walk everywhere. I love walking so much. I walk everywhere and I love it. It just feels like it's good for my mental health. I do miss Mexico, but I think for me personally, this was the best thing that I could have done. But this is 100% part of you personally. I know people that live here that just want to move to the US. I know people that used to live in France or in Spain that now live in New York, San Francisco, and they're super happy. I think it's just a matter of your lifestyle. And don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean that I don't miss living in Mexico, but my quality of life has improved since I moved. I miss the food, I miss the people, definitely the people, how warm everyone is. It's not the case here and it's been hard to adapt. Thoughts on the Chanel 22? I've considered getting that bag. I actually really like it, but I've heard so many bad things about the quality that I'm a little bit concerned about investing on the bag and it not really working working out or having quality issues. I really like this style, just not in black because kind of reminds me of a trash bag. A place where I have always wanted to travel to, I would say South Africa. I always wanted to go to Africa, but especially South Africa, India, Japan. I want to go to Japan. I also would love to go to Hawaii, and I've never been, so it's also on my travel list. What do you think about the Dior book tote now? I sold mine. I'm gonna do a video about all the bags that I sold this year and why I sold them. I love the book tote. I think I would never say that it's a bag that is not worth it, because I said before, Dior is always like reinventing and doing new patterns that I personally really like. So I'm always constantly tempted on adding a new book tote when I see a print that I like a lot. Even if the first time didn't work out, I really like the bag, and it's just because it was too bulky and it didn't really fit my laptop. I also kind of agree with people that say that fakes were in the book tote. I don't know why it became such a popular bag to sell on the fake market. I think it's also one of the reasons why it's not that popular anymore and people are drifting away from it. But my honest opinion is that if you like it and if you like a specific pattern, it's a great bag. It's a piece of art. Yeah, just don't listen to people. If you really like a bag, if it's trendy or not shouldn't really matter, and only if it makes you happy. Favorite book at the moment? So I've been reading a lot. So far this year I have like 14 books read. I've been staying like at 3 a.m. just reading, and it's become to a point where it's not that good anymore. I'm starting to get behind on videos because I just enjoy reading so much. I haven't watched TV or movies in months. That's to the point where I'm at. But right now I'm reading Queen of Shadows from Sarah J Maas. It's from the Throne of Glass series, and it is really good. Highly recommend it. My favorite bag at the moment, I brought it with me. I see this bag on my shelf and it makes me happy. I 100% I think right now this is my favorite bag in my entire collection, but may change with the seasons. We don't know, but right now this one. I think I'm done with the makeup. Do you intend on getting the Celine Triumph? And the answer is yes. Only thing is that I don't know when, and I don't really know in which color, but yes, to intend to at some point add it to my collection. Why did you stay so long in Mexico if you always wanted to live in Europe again? This is a great question. So I kind of always knew that I was gonna end up living in Europe, but I didn't know when. I was very close to studying college in the UK at first. Then I decided against it and I wanted to be in Mexico. I just wanted to stay with friends, and also it is not something that could be so fast achieved. I wanted to be done with college, and it took me a while because I did my first major and I studied 2 years of it. Then we took a gap year and then I started over, so that's why it kind of took us so long. It was always our ultimate goal to end up here. It was just like we wanted to finish college there. Okay, I haven't really been wanting to touch on this topic because I don't know if my opinion is like too boring on it, but since the old money quiet luxury trend started, I've been asked a lot to give either quiet luxury style options, what do I think about it, etc. And I got a few questions about that. So my honest opinion is that I find it a little bit nonsense because old money has nothing to do with the style. I don't know why we hyperfixate on new money, old money, and why people feel the need to shame people about the way that they dress. I just feel like the style, the dressing style, the quiet luxury trend, I like it, but the reason why I like it is because I am a very boring dresser, and I find it so funny that now everyone thinks that it's so stylish and so cool. And yes, I may like the style, but the style is called preppy, simple, maybe quiet, yes. And I just know that after all of this, we're gonna go right back to the monogram craze that we had like in 2019, 2020. So let's just take things with a grain of salt and not go too deep into that, because it will come around and monogram and overload will be back eventually. Trends are trends. If you like it, you can adapt it to your closet. I like it, but that's about it. How do you justify spending your money on bags? Do you ever feel guilty about dropping so much money? I always have a really hard time like in the moment. Even if I spend a lot of time saving for the item and I'm quite sure that I want the item, like the moment that I go and pay, I always feel sick and nervous about it because it's still a lot of money. But justifying it, the way that I see things is like life is very short. I always think about that. It helps me with my anxiety too. But if you think about it, Earth is so small. Like you're such a small speck in your city, and your city is such a small speck in the world. Earth is so small in the universe that we only live around 90 years. If something makes you happy and you're able to save for it and you're not being irresponsible, I don't see a problem. Which I used to be a little bit more ashamed about it and what people thought about it. I would always get comments like, how much is your bag? And I would always be really scared to tell them because I know that probably judgment would come my way, but I'm more comfortable now and I don't care that much. If you were offered a special order, which bag and what specs would you get? Honestly, I don't know if I would take full advantage if I was ever offered a special order order because I would probably go for very basic stuff. Something that I would like to do is to have like Swift or Box or Barenia, but not Epsom, not Togo, no Clements leather. I would go for something different. That's like the only thing that really appeals me about special order. It's to go for leathers that you usually don't see that often. But I'm definitely happy, grateful, and content with my collection. I'm not playing anything. I really don't go to the store, and if I get the call, amazing. If I don't, that's also fine. Would you move permanently to your grandma's house? So yes and no. I spent full summers, full winters, a lot of time there growing up, and I love it. It's my happy, safe place, probably, and that's why you see me the happiest there. I just don't have any negative memory from when I was a kid from that house. I just remember learning to ride a bike, being with my grandma, going to the pool, going on the town. I have very strong, fond, happy memories there, and that's why it's my safe space. It is also the only house that we still have where I grew up, because the house where I grew up in Mexico, we moved a few times. My other grandparents' house in Mexico, it also was sold, so this is the only place from my childhood that I kind of have left. But it's also very far away from everything. The town where it's located, it's only 80 people, so there's not much to do, and yeah, I think for a weekend thing it's amazing and I love it, and I definitely look for something similar to that closer to us, or maybe for living full-time but closer to a big city, like closer to Barcelona, or something where I could go to the movies, where I can get sushi, where I can like do a lot of things that you definitely can't there. But yeah, I agree, I'm really happy when I go, and it helps me recharge a lot, and I'm really happy that you guys enjoy the vlogs. I was a little bit worried that they were gonna be very boring because I basically only read, had wine, and chatted. That was basically it. Best relationship advice. I mean, I don't feel like I'm someone who is like in the position to give advice to anyone out there, but if you want my peace of mind of being 8 years with my fiance, is that it's gonna sound very cliche, but communication. I am someone who has really bad anxiety, and I don't really share how I feel most of the time. I close off. At first it was really hard for us to communicate when this happened because I would just didn't feel safe sharing, and when I learned that if I told him what triggered me, what made me feel this way, what was bothering me, we could resolve it faster. So we have rules. We never go to bed angry. We always talk it out before we go to bed. The moment that something feels off, we voice it, and again, we resolve it. No yelling. I hate yelling. I am a very calm person, and I'm also very sensitive in that sense, so we just don't yell. We talk it through, everything. Even if it's something that we don't want to hear, we talk about it. We don't let things go deeper by just like storing them inside and not telling the other that's something that they said or that they did or something that's been going on that bothers you so much. So don't let things grow inside of you. Just communicate them and have conversations, but also empathy when you hear them, because of course when you're fighting you think about how you feel, but we try to literally step on each other's shoes. But yeah, communicate and share how you feel. Can you describe your dream life, your dream house? I would love to live, I don't know, in Tuscany. Live close to a city where I could go to the movies. 30-minute ride and you would go to the movies, grocery shopping, sushi, etc. But I would love to live like surrounded by nature and have like a lot of land, maybe even a vineyard, many dogs. The house would be old. I would never dare to own like anything modern. I would love like a really old house and renovate it. I would love to have horses, but that's really far-fetched. Flowers and space for my kids to run, drinking coffee in the garden, reading books in the mornings, gardening. So I kind of feel like this Q&A has been super long. I think I'm gonna start doing Q&As and Get Ready With Me's a little bit more frequent. I enjoy sitting down and starting my day filming this, so I hope that you guys do like them. If you're into my channel, please consider subscribing and click the notification bell down below so you don't miss any of my videos. And I'm gonna leave you to those right here in case you want to check them out. Thank you and see you on the next one. Bye.